So we are at the end of our third full day here in Palestine and Israel, and I wanted to just jump on quickly and share some observations about different themes that have been emerging throughout our stay here. Perhaps Dean will jump on later and give you an overview of everything we've seen and done. Although I've got to be honest, they have packed these days full to the brim for us, and it's at times been a little overwhelming. But at this point, I've started to really see some cohesive points emerge for me. The biggest one that I've seen is overall just the spirit of the people here. We have witnessed some pretty heinous levels of oppression. Something that's really stood out for me is we've now had, I think 3 interactions at the checkpoints, 2 in person and 1 in the bus, which I guess is also in person. It was just in the bus. And the first one was middle of the day. We walked in, or 10 a.m., so not during rush hour. And we walked in ourselves to walk through the checkpoints between Palestine and Israel, which all of the Palestinian citizens, they're not allowed to drive over the borders. They have to go through these checkpoints that are highly just restricted and secured. And we walked through as if we were one of them, presented our passports, just the level of crowding. And again, we weren't at a rush hour time. There were probably only 30 people, which is really low. But that kind of palpable, it wasn't quite fear, but pressure of being packed in with these other people. There was like pushing, and it wasn't, nothing about it felt violent. It was just everyone was eager to get through. So I was like pushed up against this Muslim woman that I, of course had never met before, and literally am touching, her side is into my front, and for an extended period of time. And I just remember looking at her and just seeing, she had these dark eyes, and the lines in her face were so etched, and I could tell that she had been through so much. And the way that, when she showed her passport to the guard, he definitely looked her up and down, stared at it, and then finally, nodded her past. But for me, I just got a nod pass. So it was just this easy nod, for me to go through. He looked at my passport, but barely. So that was really impactful to me as the start of this. Later that same day, we actually drove through a checkpoint, and our tour guide was on the bus with us, who is a Palestinian citizen, and actually they took him off the bus for a little bit. I don't want to give you too many details about that, but just this, I saw, even though he is, he's well off, he's, over 30 with kids, so as he said, he's not much of a threat to the Israeli government. In their eyes, but I could see a little bit of fear in his face when he got off the bus, and he made it out fine, came back and told us the story. But just this, these checkpoints are just the level of impediment they put on people's lives. Followed that up by this morning, we went at about, I think we left at 5 a.m. and we got there like maybe 5:30, and just seeing, I've seen pictures online of this checkpoint 300, which is the Bethlehem checkpoint at rush hour. And just seeing it in person, and the people climbing over walls to get through the checkpoint so they can make it to their jobs in Israel. And one of the things our guide said was he pointed out that these are the lucky ones, because these are the people with permission to pass. And he said, you have to be humiliated to be lucky, but these are the lucky ones. And that has just sat with me since he said those words, and connected back to just this spirit. I've seen it in the artwork on the walls of hope and perseverance that we've seen. These have been some of the most generous people I've interacted with. They're just always giving. We've had dinner with some people, and they're just always, trying to feed you more, give you more. And we've heard from a few stories from different people that live here and have gone through some oppression. We heard one story from a young man, who's 22, I believe he said, who has been, since he was 15, he's been arrested 3 times. All of those arrests, he's been in jail for over a year. And one of the members in our group asked him if he had hope. And without missing a beat in his, broken English, he responded, "Yes, hope, always hope." And I can't remember the whole rest of his quote, but what he said was really powerful. And just the idea that there is hope for a lot of these people, even though some of us can't fathom the injustices they're going through. So for tonight, I'll leave you with that. And I'm sure Dan will jump back on with another update soon. So thanks.